Well, it was all about Apple, and it brings us to our next real deal. It was certainly the stock of the day as that Worldwide Developer Conference got underway. Now, the stock was under some pressure, but I got to tell you something. This isn't new. In the last 11 years, 10 of them, this stock has been down an average of 3.7% in a week of this WWDC. In fact, last year was the first time it was up in more than a decade. So how concerned should we be, Hillary? Because number two after is this the crash is what the heck is going on with Apple? How come it doesn't move anymore?
Well, Apple is the most widely held stock of all of the institutions, so it's very important that way. But all eyes are on the iPhone, and that's why we haven't seen the buzz with this developers conference this week, even with this streaming music. It's really about iPhone sales, not even the watch.
Really? You think
I
so?
think so.
Oh, all right. I don't know.
I actually like the news today because I think if they really become the new leader once again, they had iTunes and they get back into music and they overtake Spotify and some of these others up-and-comers, that's going to be huge for this company. And the new iPad with the split screen, that's something that will drive people to buy the new iPad. That's an upgrade, in my opinion, that will drive people out there to buy more. So I thought the news was fairly good. Buy the rumor, sell the news, priced in maybe, but I still like the stock.
Yeah, the iPad's certainly suffering some cannibalization. They need something to spark that. Also, Steve Cortez, maybe the streaming service, I heard a number of 100 million people paying $10 a month. You know, that's not a bad business, although I'm not sure how much it would impact Apple. Is this just a sort of point because Apple has been so amazing? Are they just somewhat a victim of their own success here?
You know, it could be to some extent, but look, fundamentally, I think there's still a lot to love about this company. The fact that it's the most valuable company on earth and it doesn't trade at obscene multiples, it's pretty attractive. The cash flow is insane. But I will tell you this, what tempers my enthusiasm for it is when I look at the technicals, the fundamental side's great, but when I look at the charts, it troubles me that in May, while the S&P made a new high above the April highs, Apple did not. So I think the market is trying to tell you something that Apple is at least tired. I'm by no means negative. But I'm not sure you pile in here either.
Are you worried, though, about that, Steve, the value of Apple to the overall market? Because I think I've seen periods over the last few years where Apple has actually sort of plodded along and the rest of the market's taken off. And I think sometimes it's good for Apple to sort of move sideways so other stocks can get attention. Earlier today, cybersecurity stocks were through the roof. Ambarella was up again on huge, after that huge earnings report last Thursday. So it might be good in some ways for other stocks to get some sort of visibility.
Yeah, I think so. And in this market, I think quality is going to shine, this point that you made earlier. So I think quality, value ultimately is going to come to the fore right now. And looking at, companies that can satisfy multiple screens from an active perspective, I think is also going to count for a lot. But in this environment, is it going to be higher volatility? Is there going to be more chop? So I think the marquee names are probably going to do a little bit better in this environment.
One name leading the parade. Is that a red flag, or is it you okay with that?
Well, no, it's not. This name is not leading the parade today. It has led the parade in the past. But from the money manager's point of view, Apple is such a percent of the indices that you basically want to hug that percent in your portfolio. If you're underweighted, it's a bet against Apple. If you're overweighted, it's a bet for Apple. And right now, the stock in the company at a point where it's had a huge move, it's digesting it, and most people just want to stay net neutral now till they can get a better feel for the earnings.
That's a great point, because if you're underweight Apple and Apple does well, you underperform the index, and that's how you lose your job.
By the way, every mutual fund, I don't care if it's emerging markets, bond funds, everybody finds a way to get Apple stock in there. So underweight or overweight, you're going to have a piece of Apple no matter what if you own any mutual fund in the world.